out. Unlike Chad Fuller, who like some sort of beast who jumps on boxes for fun, I don't. Hate it. Hate exercise. Who in here loves to exercise? You're just like, oh my God, if I could just exercise right now, I would so do it. Who are you? Where are the freaks in the room? There you are. Yeah, I wish I was you. I am not. Who's like me? They're like, seriously, I exercise so my pants fit. Where are my people? Yeah, that's me. And who's like, I don't exercise at all because I don't even want to talk about it. Yeah, a few people are like, that's it. So I'm half Italian, half Scottish. I'm 5 feet tall. I eat a sandwich, my pants don't fit. That's my reality, okay? And I can't afford to be replacing my pants every day. So my why for working out is very selfish. It's that I just want my clothes to fit and generally look okay. I have given up on the fact that I'm ever going to be like thin again because actually I would rather eat salad most of the time and then cake every 5 times. That makes me happy. And a latte every morning, that's what makes me happy. And I give it up to people who can go without that. To me, I'm half Italian. Life's too short to not enjoy food. So that's just me. But as a result, I have to exercise more days than I don't, or I can gain 10 pounds like that, and 10 pounds on me is not pretty. 10 pounds on me is like 20 pounds on anybody else because there's just nowhere for it to go. Just like sit, there it is, it's a ball of it right there. You'd be like, oh, she had a sandwich. There, I can see the outline of the sandwich right there. So I have to exercise most mornings, and so I know that. But I also know myself well enough to know I don't like it. I don't do it. I love, Jessica Harriman, one of my best friends in the world. I stay at her house once every couple of months, and she'll be like, let's go for a run in the morning so we can strategize. I'm like, how about we go get a massage so we can strategize? And then we'll go for a run a different time. But she runs because she loves it. I run because it makes my pants fit. So when the alarm goes off in the morning, 5:30, especially on a cold Canadian winter morning, and I'm like snuggled up next to my like big like 6'9" Danish American hunky husband, and my cats are nice and warm, and it's like, and then I look at the skylight over me, and it's like snow. And if I said to myself, do I want to run today? What's the answer? No. The answer is, I'm never going to be like, yes, I do. I know that I'm always going to say no. So I don't allow myself to ask that question. What I ask myself is, do I want my pants to fit? And the answer to that question, as shallow as it is, go ahead and judge, just being honest, for me is, yes, I do. So I get up and I go exercise. So to me, knowing your why is key. Because if you don't know your why, you can't ask yourself the right question. And if you can't ask yourself the right question, you're setting yourself up for failure. So we're going to talk about prospecting in a minute. And if the question I ask myself is, do I want to talk to 2 people a day in the formula, following the formula of the 2X? The answer to that question could very well be no. You're leaving that open to your mood. You're leaving that open to how you feel that day. You're leaving that open to your energy. You're leaving that open to outside circumstances. I would ask you, is your goal something that you're willing to leave up to others? Because if it is, then you can feel free to ask yourself that question. If you're like, my success is completely dependent on my mood and other people and the things around me that I can't control. If that's okay with you, then you don't need to know your why and you don't need to ask yourself the right question. If your success is more important to you than how you may feel that day, than how others may be, than the fact that your kids were up all night, than the fact that you are single, than the fact that you don't feel well, than the fact that you're pregnant and sick, than the fact that it's a bad day, the fact that the weather's bad, the fact that someone was mean to you, the fact whatever happens in your life, it happens to all of us. So if those things are less important to you than your success, you have to be able to ask yourself the right question. And so the question, instead of do I want to call 2 people, is probably going to look like something more like, do I want to be able to find that thing for me that brings me back to life? Do I want to earn $10,000 so that I can pay off the student debt that hangs over me like an albatross around my neck? Do I want to, promote so that I can go to Napa because I've never been to California and I want to be able to say to my husband, look at me, going to California. Well, you're going to some conference in Iowa. No offense to people from Iowa, right? So that's right. What is my why is something very important so that I can ask myself the right question. So take the time to know that, and then I can obviously align my goal to that and make sure that I have some infrastructure to match. So that's why I spend so much time on that, especially with a new business owner, because if you've never worked for yourself before, if you've only worked for others, you have to start now asking yourself the question, would I fire me or would I hire me based on my daily activity? I'll let that one hang for a second, right? If at the end of the day you ask yourself, would I hire me or would I fire me? Here's the thing, and the answer is I'd fire me. You're not a bad person. You're not lazy. You're not stupid. You're not unorganized. You're not all of the things that come into your head when you say you would fire you. You just aren't asking yourself the right question to keep yourself on the straight and narrow. And to have salad most days, but that doesn't mean there isn't a day where you don't have cake. It's fine. But if most days you would hire you, you're in the right place. And that to me is the difference. I could actually sit down now and this day could be done. And if you just went home and embraced that, and just knew most days I need to do something to build my business so that I would hire me at the end of the day, not fire me, then our work here is done. Because over the past 20 years of helping people build their businesses, that's the biggest differentiator that I have found between people who are successful and people who aren't. They just keep asking themselves the right question so that they get up. And quite frankly, it's ironic that I would say this, given I've built a career on training people on like the words to say and things to do, because I'm just gonna like fire myself out of a job, because even if you don't know the words to say, but every day you know, I just got to talk to 2 people, I'm going to do it, and I asked myself the right question, so I'm motivated to do it, and you just walked out the door and you just saw something and you just did that and walked away. You would eventually be successful, okay? What most people do who struggle is this. They sit at home thinking in their head. Maybe they go on social media and post a few things and then get mad that nobody new responds. Of course not, because you have to go find new people to put them on social media to respond. Right? That's how it works. It's social. So that's the whole name of it. Right? So you can't build a business that way. And literally, if you just left here today and you were like, all I need to know is just walk up to 2 people and throw a product guide at them, you would sell product and you would eventually get there. Okay? Now, fortunately, someone likes to pay me to give you some nuance and some words to say, but if you just have the courage to ask for what you really want, I truly believe at the risk of it sounding new agey, that you would actually get it. Because it's more about the motivation to get there than what you do to get there. Now, fortunately, we're going to spend some time on what to do, but I need to get your head in that place. So when you do the 2X, which is coming in a second, of course, you're going to run the power seller bonuses. Everybody knows what these are. I, again, would never want to not hit at least that first level because I don't like leaving money on the table. So today's goal is going to be to talk about how you can always be hitting at least the first level, but the second level and the third are great options too, right? The first level is pretty simple at Ever because what does $1,000, I want to start seeding something into your minds now. What does $1,000 in sales represent from a product standpoint at Ever? 4 regimens, right? It's a pretty nice, simple math equation to me. 4 equations a month, 4 regimens a month means I'm always going to be hitting power selling. Okay, so the 2X success system is actually designed around that very thing to help you do it. Now you'll notice we've tweaked the 2X success system a little bit. If you weren't at Welcome to Leadership yesterday, you're like, that looks a bit different. Still the system, it's still the formula. We've actually simplified it a little bit, and you're gonna hear some language here that you're like, I've never heard that before. It all will become clear over the next 10 minutes, okay, so bear with me. So your goal as Heidi Wool-Jetty is online, or oh, Halai, it's Halai, excellent, that's Jessica's assistant, good, some messages may start popping up here. So what's great about the 2X system is it's very simple. It's every day, of course, you're talking to 2 people, and what is your goal of talking to those people? It's to get 2 Ever Rewards connectors a month. Oh, because now we have something called Ever Rewards. This is huge, I'll explain why in a second. An Ever Reward connector is just somebody who connects me to 4 other people. Okay, so it's not, do you want to be a hostess, it's, do you want to be a connector? If you're a connector, you help me expand my network, and as a reward, I am able to give you free and half-price product. That's pretty great, right? So my goal is to offer all that we have to offer at Ever, and I'll show it to you in a second, so that I can, by talking to 2 people a day, reward 2 people, get 2 people who are interested in being a connector, and then also 2 new team members a month. And that could take the form of personal appointments, social sharing. It could be a skincare social at somebody's home where they actually have 4 people over and we sit around their kitchen table. We're certainly going to talk about that. But it could also be, yeah, I love that idea. I have 4 friends. They live in 4 different places, and I'll give you their information, and you can reach out and follow up with them as 4 personal appointments or 4 phone calls. And when I do that, that's the same, and you'll also get Ever Rewards. It could be an online show where I set up a Facebook group, and Bianca wants to be an Ever Connector, and she invites her 20 friends to that, and at least 4 of them, and because you have to have 4 orders to redeem the rewards, at least 4 of them shop, and I'm able to reward Bianca with host rewards. This is game changing. Okay, so what's interesting about that is that it's a very simple way to be able to give someone a hook. It's your hook to expand your network. There is no, this is the beauty, this is why I literally couldn't sleep last night. Because here's the thing, in the consumable replenishment industry, there is no other company like this that has host rewards. They don't have a hook. Nobody else has, I'm competitive by nature. I want to be the best. We have the best program because we now have a hook, right? We are a consumable model offering traditional party plan rewards. It's a whole new creature. This opens up an entirely new opportunity to you. Just to be blunt, why would I want to sell any other consumable skincare brand if I'm passionate about skincare, which I know you guys are. I'm getting more passionate about a second about it. I'm really just more passionate about what it's going to do for your bank account. So that's what I care about. But excellent if we have a glow. My legs are very glowy because Rebecca rubbed me down this morning. So if you, and I'm like still a little oily, but I like it. I was like cuticles. I heard Dana yesterday say I should put like my leftover eye cream on my lips. Yeah, I still think your boobs is a better idea because they're just tighten and brighten. That tighten part felt good to me.
Tighten and brighten.
Yeah. My boobs need tightening more than my lip, let's be honest. Okay, so, come on, that was funny. You don't even laugh. As if your boobs don't need tightening. Seriously? I mean, I know, it's controversial to talk about boobs, literally. We all have tight boobs, except for Chad. And, oh, he's good, he's not here. Okay. Phew, it was excellent timing. So that is a game changer in the industry because this allows you to now build your business in 2 ways. Every month, you're looking for those new Ever Rewards connectors. How many am I looking? I'm going to ask you a lot of rhetorical questions. How many connectors a month? Two connectors a month, and that's going to give me how many on average customers? At least 8, right? Because it has to be at least 4 per connector for them to redeem rewards. That's probably looking something like 8 regimens. That's, in my mind, I would like to look at this like a pie. So my pie of my business is composed in 2 ways. I'm not just gonna get a few customers and milk them for all they're worth, because that's a really short-lived business plan. That would be like I'm gonna open a restaurant, but the only people I'm gonna feed are like my family. That's not a restaurant, that's your kitchen. You don't need a restaurant if you're only gonna feed your family and your 4 friends, okay? So I'm constantly bringing in those new people. I'm aiming for basically 8 customers via 2 connectors a month. But then, because this is a replenishment brand, they are gonna wanna replace, they're joining loyalty, because who wouldn't want 10% off? It just makes mathematical sense. So it's the combination of bringing in 8-ish or more. I don't want to talk about 8 as the gold seal, I also want to talk about that as the minimum. So I'm bringing in at least 8 new customers into my cake. I'm on cake today, clearly I need to eat some. Into my cake, it's cake day today, not salad day. So I'm bringing in, a wedge of my pie every month are those new connectors, but then I've got all the people that have been added in the past who are now loyalty customers. That is the equation for a successful consumable business. It's not personal use. It's not bringing 4 people who I'm just gonna call every 8 weeks to get more peel pads. Although if anyone has spare peel pads, you should totally give them to me because I'm like a 2-a-day user and I'm like running out and I start to get anxious when I'm like down to half a package. So you're definitely, you're bringing in new people and then you're serving the ones you have, and that is the equation of constant newness that's gonna equal big promotions and big bucks for you. Because when you do that, you're filling your funnel. You're meeting enough people. You're helping enough other people duplicate. Do you need me or are you just looking at me?
Give me pictures.
Oh, okay. I was like, am I doing something wrong? Are you about to punish me? Sarah, what's
so great taking pictures?
Excellent. I told her this is a risky skirt to wear because this is actually a lace skirt. So then I have a little slip underneath. But sometimes I had an experience where the slip becomes a belt and no one tells me. And I'm like, seriously? Not one? So I'm wearing yellow booty shorts in case that should happen, so that you are not horrified by what you would see. If you notice that, could someone please tell me? So I'm just being totally honest. I already told Sarah this. I was like, you are on slip duty today. Should you see that, give me the signal. The signal is